Hi, my name is Elle Billing. I am a chronically ill queer femme, and I'm tired. I'm here this episode and every episode to dig at the roots of our collective fatigue, explore ways to direct our care in compassionate and sustainable ways, and to harness creative expression to heal ourselves and to heal our world. Welcome to Hoorf, Radical Care in a Late Capitalist Hexscape. My guest for this episode is Wolfe Erikson. Wolfe uses they, them pronouns and is a queer and disabled civic technology designer and somatic coach, specializing in trauma-informed methodologies and participatory design to improve care quality for individuals navigating the U.S. healthcare system. They studied interaction design at the Copenhagen Institute of Interaction Design, where they received Core 77's Design for Social Impact Award for their thesis project Enjoy, a digital community for people living with disability. Currently studying somatics at the Strozzi Institute, Wolfe is expanding their capacity to foster deeper levels of care within themselves, in relationships, and across communities. I'm excited to have them on the podcast today. Welcome. Welcome to Hoorf. It's great to have you.
Thank you.
Sometimes I totally start off the rails like that. Sorry. Anyway, hi, hello, welcome. How are you?
I'm doing well. Yeah,
Good,
I'm excited to
good.
be here. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Good. I'm glad to have you. We had to reschedule once and now we're here and it's great. And I am thrilled to have you here because I have been following you on social media for quite a while. I've watched some of the work that you've done and I've been excited about it. So
Hmm,
this is rad. I like
cool.
I like it when I can get people that I have kind of been following their work and then they say yes and I go, yippee.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm
Yeah.
really I feel really grateful to know that you have been following my work for a while. That's really exciting to
Yeah,
hear.
you had done it was a like a symptom tracker journal, I think,
hmm
a while
Is that
ago.
how, yeah, is that how
That's
you
how,
found me?
yep, that was how I found you.
Yeah,
So, and
got
then
you.
I've been following your work for a while after that. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
cool.
so
Yeah. Well,
cool.
I'm excited to chat with you today.
Yes. Well, I'm going to start with my first question, which is how have
Mm.
you received care this week?
Mm, it's a good question. Well, I've received therapy. I appreciate various therapeutic spaces. I have received care from my partner um, in taking some things off of my plate.
That is always super helpful.
Yeah, yeah, very much so. Um, and I have received care from friends in the form of invitations where people have been very considerate about, various like energetic needs, and I've been extended invitations of, hey, no pressure, you can like, please, we want you here, but like, there's show up for as long as you want, as long as your body is feeling good. Show up for as little as you want, and those kinds of invitations are very welcome for me personally.
Yeah, that acknowledgement of capacity is good.
Yeah, yeah, totally. Yeah, and I feel very lucky to have some friends in my life who like really have my back in the way that I often overextend my capacity. And they're like, hey, like go have a seat, like go sit down. And I'm like, wow, you're so right. I was like really pushing myself in a way that was like uncomfortable. And so
Hmm.
yeah, I've been given a lot of care this week that I feel very grateful for.
That's good. My partner will notice if I need a nap or if I'm hungry and haven't eaten, you should eat something. Or like,
hmm
it might be nap time.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Oh
yeah,
yeah, thank you. I'll go do that
yeah,
now. And
yeah,
then
yeah, yeah.
like, oh thanks, I feel so much better.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Right, I haven't eaten in several hours.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's helpful to have those people in our lives. So, can you talk about the kind of design work you do And like what makes it unique from how maybe most people think of like user experience in digital design?
Yeah, so I'll provide a little bit of context
Totally.
for
Yeah.
like who I am, my work, and like what led me to this moment. So like,
Yeah, because we've had like I've had other kinds of artists and creators on the podcast before, but we haven't
yeah,
really done digital design yet. So
yeah,
this is like you're a first type of like
awesome.
you're a first timer. So like whatever you want to talk
Yeah,
about will be great.
cool. Yeah, so currently where I am with design is I do design and research for the government. I am a lead designer on a Medicare.gov project. So basically, it's my job to ingest research, synthesize research, and research can basically look like talking with beneficiaries,
Hmm.
asking them what's going on, asking them what their experience is like for Medicare.gov. And so that like the digital application processes for enrolling in Medicare. And so that could be like taking a look at claims. That could be paying their premiums. That could be signing up for a different kind of plan. And so it's my job to talk with all of those people, synthesize that research, and then make changes to the website to make it more functional and to make some of that information a little bit more digestible
Okay.
because healthcare is complicated.
It's very complicated. Yes.
Yeah, it's very complicated. I've been working for Medicare for the last 2.5 years, and there's still things that I will learn every day that I'm like, huh, I didn't know that. And so that's kind of the interesting part about this current state of work is if it's hard for me, who's thought about this 8 hours a day for 2.5 years, it's
Hmm.
hard for someone who's turning 65 and who this they're like, I've never done this before. So that's where I'm at currently. I studied design.
Hmm.
Um, I attended the Copenhagen Institute of Interaction Design. That program was down in Costa Rica. It was a very funny program. I loved it so much, but it was basically studying human computer interaction. It was studying ways in which humans and life interacts with systems, interacts with products, interacts with itself, really. Like there's a concept in design called human-centered design, and this program was about life-centered design, which I really resonated with, where we were sort of attempting to decenter humans from the design process and consider ways in which our decisions in the design process were impacting life outside of humans, and sort of thinking on a more like systemic level of design decision making.
Okay.
After that experience, I went into private healthcare design, doing stuff for like diabetes technology. Um, I also did some consulting in like endometriosis and multiple sclerosis and some other chronic disease. It's weird to call them industries, but that's really like how private healthcare innovation happens. Is like,
Mhm.
it's how it's to the highest bidder, really. People invest all this time and energy and money into these various technologies. And, eventually they will become accessible in terms of price point, but for the most part, it's not, and so that's kind of what led me to civic technology. And your original question was, how is this like different from UX or other like kind of design disciplines? And it's really not. I think it's a little bit more specialized in terms of like being able to navigate political and health environments. Like there's specialty information about complex legacy systems within the government, but also like how does the body work, And like when I'm on project for various things like diabetes, like I've really got to get into, okay, like how does diabetes work, and like how does a person using an insulin pump, like what is their experience like? So that's what I do.
Yeah, I just had to buy. I pick up my parents' prescriptions for them because my dad
Yeah.
still farms full time and my mom doesn't drive.
Mm,
And my dad is type 2 diabetic and he
hmm
has like a blood sugar monitor and the test strips and stuff, and he had
Mhm.
called to order or called the pharmacy to get new test strips, and they don't make them anymore. He had to get a whole new blood sugar
Mm,
monitor because they
mm,
discontinued his testing strips.
wow.
And so
Yeah.
he had to upgrade to a different style. And what I found interesting was the blood sugar monitor and the test strips, they're not covered by Medicare. I was like,
Mhm.
how many people on Medicare are diabetic? That it would seem
So many.
yeah, like that
Yeah.
would be covered, but it's not. The
Yeah.
things I learned
Yeah.
about Medicare because I live with my parents and handle their
Mhm.
prescriptions.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Totally.
so I looked at your website and so you and some of your freelance non-government projects.
Mm-hmm.
And so do you do the front end and the back end design of those or just the user experience side?
Yeah. So I don't do like in so to kind of clarify, like
Yeah,
there, yeah,
I know
no, no,
like
no.
enough about sorry, I know
Yeah.
enough of I have my ex-husband was a coder and then I have
Oh, there
friends
you
who
go.
work in various aspects of things.
Yeah.
But and
Yeah.
so like when they talk about it, like I know enough to like kind of follow
Yeah.
along, but then I can't regurgitate any of the correct terms when I need them.
Honestly, same. And that's, I think, like tells you exactly maybe what you need to know. Like I
Fair.
can code. Should I code? Probably not.
Okay,
Like
okay. So no back, not the back end.
I'm not doing backend in terms of
Okay.
software, but like I have done like physical prototyping,
Okay.
my thesis for from grad school was a physical product. So
Okay.
I designed like, I can get by, but I'm not a coder by any means.
Okay, fair.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so the one so we I prepped for last week and then a whole week and a migraine has happened since I prepped.
Mm.
The one that I remember from your website was the gamified 12 step.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's I probably remember that because I've done 12 step.
Yeah. Yeah.
So is something like that a typical type of project for you, like a care focused design like that?
Yeah, I mean, all of my projects are care focused. Like I
Okay.
really try and I'm currently kind of expanding my definition of health, really.
Hmm.
Like I went into grad school aiming to do healthcare design, largely because I like had this like health experience where I was like, chronically ill and disabled, and like the healthcare system was like, can I swear on this podcast? Is that okay?
Oh, yes, please
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, the healthcare system was like, fuck you. Like, actually, no, like you gotta go. And I'm like, all right, well, this sucks. So I went to grad school with the intention of like, I've got to make this better. Like, I really want to try and like design different solutions for people like trying to access care. And that was 5 years ago. And so for the last, 5 years, I've been very dedicated to like my offerings and my services are like specific for designing for care. And so yeah, like that's the majority of what I've done over the last 5 years. Now I'm starting to expand outside of like actual medical care and starting to like reframe definitions of like what does it mean to be healthy? Like
Mm.
so I think that there are like literal health metrics that happen like within the body, like when you try and receive care, like you're coming in and saying, I have chronic pain or I have like whatever thing is going on with you. Like, yeah, like treatment needs to happen. But then outside of that, some of the things that I've taken away from some of these projects, like what do you want to do with your life? Like, maybe in spite of that chronic pain, like, like what is your longing for your own life? Tell me about the paintings that you do in your spare time when you have the time and energy. Like, tell me about your community. Tell me about the environment. And so I've started to slowly expand away from specific healthcare technologies and services and more towards like community-based offerings, like land regenerative connective based offerings. And that might sound a little vague, but like yeah, I've just been exploring other ways to fill up my cup as a person who provides services because healthcare is hard. Healthcare is really hard to be in. Like ask anyone, like they'll tell you
Yeah.
it's hard and it sucks. And so sometimes it's very discouraging to it just feels like such an uphill battle. And so to kind of fill up my own cup, I really try and like find ways to have projects that also are like, yeah, things may be hard, and like we're working to build greater connections. We're working to build, more artistic communities. Like there's more to life than, I mean, for me, like I am really into the idea of like salutogenesis rather than pathogenesis. Like pathogenesis is like the start of disease, and salutogenesis is like the start of life, or like,
Yeah.
tell me about the parts of you that like feel really alive,
I like that. Yeah, my brain
Yeah.
was breaking those words down. I was like, ooh, I like that.
Hmm.
I dig that.
Yeah.
I'm just like, and now my brain is like, doing that thing it does where it gets a new word and a new concept. And it's like, oh, well, yeah, because health
Mm.
can coexist with our illnesses. Like we can have healthy parts of our lives even while we're ill or in pain.
Yeah.
Like, of course we can. Like,
Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah.
I just haven't heard it articulated this way. Okay.
I think I need it like constantly articulated to me. I think I need constant permission that I can like live the life that I want despite being a person with chronic illnesses. Like
Yeah.
when I was in grad school and really like, coming to terms with being disabled, I started a podcast because I was like, I need to like talk with other disabled artists. I need to like see how they're doing this and like what accommodations they're making for themselves. And
Yep.
I met people who were like, I have a bedbound studio. Like I make paintings in my bed. And I'm like, that's so rad. Like that's so cool to me. It's like just hearing people make accommodations for themselves to like lead the lives that they want is like what I'm interested in, really.
Yeah. Like I have different versions of how I do admin time.
Hmm.
I can do it at the kitchen table, right? Sitting in a regular
Hmm.
chair, which is not comfortable, but like I can do it. And
Hmm.
then that means I can keep an eye on my mom. I have the
Hmm.
doing it in bed version.
Hmm.
And then I have like a comfy couch version. So like I have sort
Yeah.
of like the three
Yeah.
stages of like how do I have to do my computer work? How do I have to do my computer work today?
Totally. Yeah.
Um, you just mentioned like the bedbound studio. I just taught my dad about Henry Matisse and how his
Mm.
art practice shifted and changed as he became more disabled because my dad doesn't
Yeah.
like he loves hearing about art, but he's not really into art much, but he calls me his art guru. Whenever
Cool.
whenever we're
Yeah.
doing trivia, he's like, "Oh, I got one for you. I got one for you." And so he
Mm.
he asks me the art questions and I was like, "Oh, well, here's something about Matisse you didn't know." And I'll tell him about how, Matisse worked from bed at the end of his career and had to change his
Yeah.
entire style. And dad's like, really? And I'm like, no, dad, I made it
Mm.
up. Yes, really? Like that's how he had adapted his
Yeah.
practice and
Yeah.
used studio assistants and things like that. And then,
Yeah.
yeah, like we still have to create, like we have to find ways to
Yeah.
do that no matter what's going on here with our body.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
So how does your chronic illness like inform or influence the way that you approach your work? Like I guess you said you probably already answered that. You went into this specifically because the health system was like all fuckery. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like the genesis of it for sure. Like after going through that experience, it really was like I'm heading in that direction. But kind of on a daily basis, like um my work is really informed by trauma-informed methodologies
Mm,
for designing. And one mentor of mine, Rachel Dietkiss, who's been such a trailblazer in that arena, she is so anti-urgency in a way that's like very, I just like feel my nervous system like be able to like cool off, when I give myself permission to be like, this is like not a real emergency right now. Like, and I think that design, for whatever reason, and I'm sure that this like is across industries, there can be such a dysregulated culture. And that dysregulated culture often like informs itself, or it's this like massive snowball where like it just sort of continues, and then there's no pause. There's no opportunity to say, okay, I like, when does my body get to rest?
mhm.
And so, yeah, chronic illnesses and disability has really informed like not only just like the subject matter of what I do, but also the process. Like I've needed to design at the speed of my body. I've needed to, I heard you say like I have when my admin stuff at the table, I have it at the couch and I have it in bed. Like those are accommodations. I have to be able to do my job in a very flexible way that meets the needs of my body.
Yeah. I was in a group chat where we were talking about like content creation. Eh.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I don't really record myself painting. And someone was like, you just have to
Mhm.
remember to set up, like it's easy to make reels. You just have to set up your phone and record yourself
Yeah.
while you paint. I'm like, my process is 3 months long.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, and a lot of it is like staring
Yeah.
at my
Yeah.
work
Right.
and recording myself changes the way I paint. But like, I
Yeah.
have a really protracted process because for one, my process is it has involves a lot of layers and a lot of waiting and a lot of percolating, but also like I can only spend like 2 hours at a time in the studio. I can't do these 10-hour
Yeah.
painting marathons like some people can.
Right.
I can't do the really cool time lapse video where it's like watch a painting come to life
Right.
because it's 3 months of footage and I don't there'd
Right.
be no way for me to like with the ADHD and the memory problems and the migraines like there's no way for me to remember to set it up every
Hmm.
time and there's no way to get the
Hmm.
same angle every time. It's not possible. Like that
Hmm.
I'm like I can't compress 3 months of footage into a reel.
No, totally. No, totally. Yeah. I mean, we're in an interesting culture of like trying to like make ourselves digestible from like a content perspective. Like how not only do we, create the work, but then we also have to think of ways to make that work digestible to a large audience. And
Yeah.
it can be really exhausting.
Yeah, like if I did do reels of my process, I would do joke reels of me like laying on the
Yeah.
floor
Yeah, totally.
or
Yeah,
just like
yeah.
staring at my painting. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
hmm.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
because that's so much of so much of it is me just
Yeah.
like sitting on the floor of my studio, like,
Yeah. What
or
does this
like
need? What does this
paint,
want?
like sitting on the floor painting and then realizing that I'm like pretzel shaped and having to stretch out and like lay on the floor to relax my back and go, I should not
Yeah.
have been doing that.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, those reels like that's not what people want to see. That's not what
Maybe,
I mean maybe
but yeah,
maybe I could be a disruptor.
totally. Yeah. I mean, I think that like we're at a point of like really smelling bullshit. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like
oh yeah.
especially like as AI continues to inform the way that we consume content and
Yeah.
all shapes of media. I think that we're just really craving, I don't know, I'll speak for myself. I'm really craving just like no fluff. Tell me what it is. Like tell me your experience, like
Hmm.
I'm not trying to have this veneer over life right now. I'm just really craving connection. And
Yeah.
so yeah, I don't know. I'm wanting like slowness. I'm wanting intentionality. Like lately I've been thinking a lot about the idea of like what it means to be a fan, like
Mm.
people are, I feel like it's harder to be a fan of anything anymore because the way that content is given to us is in this like fractured state. And so I will like my every once in a while hear of, an album coming out of a musician that I like. I'm like, oh, I haven't listened to them in years. And I'm like, why is that? I used to like really be like watch for
Hmm.
musicians to release. I used to watch for artists to do stuff. And it's just a little bit more fractured. And I'm really craving in this time in my life to have relationships with everything. Like whether that's like
Yeah.
actual community and people in my life, or if that's like an artist that I really admire and respect. Like I want to like really build that relationship and have a slow pace of connection so that I can become more of a fan, you know?
Yeah. All the art on my walls it's from artists that I follow or like
Yeah.
respect or have
Yeah.
an actual relationship with, except two pieces. It was somebody I
Mm,
used to follow and they're not on Instagram anymore.
yeah, totally.
They
That's
stopped
interesting.
painting. It was just like an experimental time in their life and now they're done. And
Mm,
like I love the pieces, but I'm kind of bummed that like I can't even say, "Oh, it was this artist," and they can go look.
right.
I'm like,
Right. Hmm.
"Okay."
Yeah. Yeah.
but I'm with you on like the community thing. And music artists, there's like two that I regularly like check up on that aren't like people that I know personally.
Yeah,
But
right.
like as far as albums coming out, Florence and the Machine has a new one coming out tomorrow, and I've been like
That's
since they
exciting.
announced it, yeah. But like it was sort of
Yeah,
announced very quickly. It's like, oh, by the
yeah.
way, here's a new song, and there's a new album coming out on
And there's a new
Halloween.
album, just so
And I
you
was
know.
like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, totally.
And then I read the article, her interview, and I was like, that album's just gonna rip me open. And I
Yeah,
am like, I've been mentally and emotionally preparing for a month for this album to come out.
yeah.
So I'm gonna shift gears a little bit. You
Hmm.
recently started working in somatics. So that's
Yeah,
I am interested in hearing about that. I had somebody else in another season who was doing work in somatics, but we didn't get a chance to like dig deep into it. So
yeah.
I would love to hear like what is it and how
Mm,
like you're training in it right now, and
yeah,
how it changes how you live with your illness.
yeah,
That's I mean,
totally.
it's two really big questions. So like
Yeah.
dive in.
Yeah, 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 yeah. That's a bit. It's a big question, so I'll just like take a bite out of it where it makes sense.
Wherever. Yeah, however you want to go.
Yeah.
Like what is it, first of all, for listeners who don't know?
Okay. Yeah. Let's start there. So somatics is body-based approaches. So the soma is a Greek word that basically tries to encapsulate like your whole being. So it's your personality, it's your physical sensations, it's your personal experiences. And I encourage you to look up definitions of the soma because
Hmm.
it's might be a little bit easier to ingest that. But somatics is a way at taking a look at the like inherent wisdom of the body
Okay.
and taking a break from the Cartesian model of like, I think, therefore I am. All of our wisdom happens the neck up, right?
Hmm.
Somatics is really like, there's information that happens all throughout our system, right? So I am training to be a somatic coach. So that's a little bit different from somatic therapy,
Okay.
where somatic therapy, you may use somatic. So you may like track sensation in your body to help process and make sense of experiences that you may have had in the past and to understand how some of those sensations are coming to life for you in the present moment. For instance, one way that somatic we can be somatically shaped. A common phrase in somatics is someone's shape. Um, if we had an upbringing where our survival mechanism required us to make ourselves as small as possible, as invisible as possible,
Hmm.
right? We may experience that somatically today, though we may not be in an environment that's requiring that of us anymore, right?
Hmm.
And so somatically, we can explore through different practices, different postures, different ways of being that has a way of telling us, investigating that closed off sensation,
Hmm.
and with safety, building capacity to like, okay, maybe I can. What would it feel like to be a little bit more open, to physically open my body? And the difference between somatic therapy and somatic coaching, um, somatic coaching can be therapeutic, but it is not a therapy. Like, I am not a therapist. I'm not here to really diagnose or treat disorders. But what I'm really trying to do is help understand where you hope to go. Like, what do you long for? What matters to you? You
Hmm.
know, and then talk about ways that you've been shaped. And one thing that I really love and admire about somatics is it's a very interrelated discipline where it talks about, you know, our shaping is not just from within ourselves. We are shaped by our family systems. We are shaped by racial dynamics. We are shaped by ability. We are shaped by culture. We are shaped by language. And so taking into context all of these things have put you into this present moment of this is your current shape,
Mhm.
you know, for better or for worse. Like
Mhm.
the wisdom of the body has kept you safe, right? The ways of you, we call them conditioned tendencies, and they could be thought of as like, maybe perhaps like fight, flight, freeze, those like tendencies to be in various stress responses. As a coach, those responses may be in service of what you long for, or they may not. And
Mhm.
so we try to name something that we work together. Here's a goal for us. And that goal could be, I want more love in my relationship. I want more ease at work. I want to restore my relationship to my hobbies and to what I care about. And then we take a look at some of those conditioned tendencies and use some practices to try and investigate like what are blocks for you to get to the where you want to go. So yeah, how does that land?
The example you gave about like feeling small,
Yeah.
or needing to be small and invisible, I like that example because I was in counseling. I've been in
Hmm.
counseling and therapy for quite a while, but I was in a session recently where my therapist said, "How does that make you feel?" And I was like, "Sad." And like,
Yeah.
"Oh, in your body." I was like, "Oh, like
Yeah.
really small, like a little kid." And
Yeah.
what he had me do, he told me, "Man spread. I want you to man spread on the couch."
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
"What?" Take up as much
Yeah.
space as you want on the couch. So I did. I like just man
Yeah.
spread, and it was
Yeah.
like it sounded silly, but like it helped break out of that,
Totally.
I guess, shape
Yeah.
that I felt stuck in because I didn't feel small when I got into therapy, but when I was like explaining the situation that I had been in, I still like reliving it and rehashing it brought me back into
Yeah.
that little tiny place, and I had to do something to like
Yeah.
bust out of it and tell myself I didn't have to be that way.
Totally.
And man spreading is funny
Yeah.
if you're
Yeah.
not a cis het white man doing it.
Yeah. 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 Absolutely.
And if my therapist is also not heterosexual, and so him telling me, "I
Yeah.
want you to man spread," was really funny.
Yeah.
Like between the two of us as two queer individuals sitting in a therapy
Totally.
session and like, okay, I'm gonna be is like taking
Yeah.
up space. It was
Yeah.
funny. And it worked because humor works with me too, but like it was
Mm,
very embodied and I get stuck in my head a lot.
me too.
Getting my body
Yeah.
involved definitely helped. I don't know if that's a good illustration, but it definitely.
Totally it
Okay,
is.
okay, good.
Yeah. No, 1,000%. Like that's really what somatics is, a safe space to try something on, to try a different way of being, to try
Mm,
embodying a different way of being, it has afforded me very, very similar experiences and like helped me to reconnect with like the wisdom of my body where,
mhm,
or like reconnect with the trust of my body where prior to studying and learning about somatics, I would be really afraid of my body. I would feel a lot of scary sensations and be like, like that's so scary. Like
is that a new symptom?
is that a new symptom? Am I in trouble? Am I getting worse?
Yep,
And so
yep.
like my brain would really like go into this narrative and I would just be pulled up into my head, worrying, 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 and not able to like be in action around like be able to like, okay, let's support me in this moment. Like I would just be so wrought with these thoughts that it was hard for me to actually take care of myself. And systematics has really helped me to be a bit more grounded and like, okay, today's just like a high symptom day, and like that doesn't, I can advocate for myself. I can be that, like, be the version of myself that I need to be now.
Yeah. Um, I wasn't thinking of it as somatics, but like I now have like better scripts for like if I have this symptom, okay, maybe I need electrolytes, maybe I need to eat
Yeah.
something, maybe I need like these are three approaches I can take instead of just
Yeah.
sitting and like worrying about it. Like these are three things I can try to get my body back on track and see how I feel, like
Yeah.
wait for the response and then make another decision. Like it moves me forward instead of getting me stuck.
Totally.
And it's taken till I'm 40 to figure out like how to work with my
It's a
body
lifelong process.
instead of thinking that my body is my enemy.
Like how much that's so my growth area right now. Like how can I move through life thinking and feeling and knowing that my body is my best friend?
Got me this far.
How would life be different? Yeah, like how would life be different if I saw my body as someone on my team rather than someone fighting against me, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's like really important for like folks like you and me, and probably a lot of our listeners too, is like
Yeah.
when you were talking about pathogenesis and salutogenesis too, is like we go into the doctor with
Yeah.
symptoms and they're running labs because they're telling us what's wrong.
Yeah.
Like, and so we're so used to like reporting on the stuff that's bad and like
Yeah.
broken. But like we need
Yeah.
to remember too that like we've made it this far. Like not to discount the fact that yes, some things need attention because
Yeah. It's a super fine balance, right?
it's not all unicorns and rainbows, but like
Right.
our body is getting us where we're going and
Yeah,
it's important that we
totally.
talk about it. Like it's complex. Let it be complex.
Totally. Let it be complex. Let it be complex. And like there's so many people online saying, I hold the keys to recovery for you. Like I hold the keys to a healthy body for you. And just follow my program, right? Just do X,
Mhm.
Y, and Z, and you'll be able to like feel this. And it's not so cut and dry. Like I needed acknowledgement. Like
Yeah.
I am never going to be one to claim that like somatics is going to like cure chronic disease. It's totally altered my relationship to my body though, for the better. And so that's been
Yeah.
massive.
No, I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
My attitude changes daily, but like the way that I think about and like manage myself definitely makes each day a different kind of day to get through, if
totally.
I'm my own ally or if I'm not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
So I have one more question.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you already answered it because you said some pretty profound things earlier, but maybe you have a different answer. So, what is one true thing that you have learned from your work in design or in somatics? I'll throw somatics in there too. One true thing that you've learned.
One true thing. Hmm, that's such a hard question.
It can be something really, it can be as basic
Hmm.
or as complex, or it can be just a true thing about yourself or a true thing about life. I
Hmm.
try to keep it as open-ended as possible.
Yeah, I think that I don't know if this is really an answer, but it's what's coming up for me. So
Okay.
it's that kind of like aha moment of whether it's like design or art or somatics. It's this like moment of opening, right? Where like, say for instance, it's a design project and I've been faced with this problem and I'm trying to understand this problem. And it's a moment of like, well, what if we tried it a different way? And like all of a sudden I'm excited and all of a sudden I'm up and trying things on. And it's this moment of like discovery and uncovering something new and a different way of approaching something. And it's very similar in an artistic practice where, you know, I heard you say like when you paint, you stare at a canvas for sometimes months. And then every once in a while it's like, wait a second, something new. And then in somatics, we have that as well, where all of a sudden I can sort of like wriggle into my body and feel something that I'm like, whoa, I didn't know that that was there. I didn't know that that was in me.
Hmm.
And so I think that like there's not like a single, tangible lesson from all of those things, but it's just this like act of discovery that I find so intoxicating that I will like continue to do the rest of my life.
Hmm. Yeah, that openness to discovery. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks for being here. Social media, where can people find you?
Yeah.
Or do you want people to find you?
They're welcome to find me. So Wolfe Erikson Design is platforms that you can find on TikTok and Instagram. We Design Health is I'll be launching my my own consulting website in the next couple of months, and I'm also at We Design Health on TikTok. Feel free to
Great.
more than enough encouragement to like reach out. Get in touch if design, somatics, trauma, some of these things that we talked about today are of interest to any of your listeners. Like, please feel free to connect.
Great. I will put all those things in the show notes. Thank you.
Cool. Yeah. Thank you, Elle. I appreciate it.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Hoorf. To get the complete show notes and all the links mentioned on today's episode, or to get a full transcript of the episode, visit hoorfpodcast.com. Join the blessed herd of St. Winkus. By signing up for our newsletter, you can get Hoorf episodes delivered directly to your inbox. What's more, you get invitations to our monthly Coffee and Biscuits Chat, where you get to hang out with Ricki and Elle, talk about the show, and connect on the topics that mean the most to you. You can sign up for that at hoorfpodcast.com. If you become a patron for only $3 a month, you can support the creation of this podcast, help pay my editor, and join a community of caregivers out here just doing our best. Thank you again for joining me, Elle Billing, the chronically ill queer femme who is very tired, on this episode of Hoorf. Until next time, be excellent to each other. Hoorf is hosted by Elle Billing at Elle and Wink. Audio editing by Ricki Cummings at Ricki Poo. Music composed by Ricki Cummings. Hoorf is a production of Elle and Wink Art Studio LLC, all rights reserved. Hoorf can be found on all social media platforms at Hoorf Podcast, at HOORF Podcast. But then I can't regurgitate any of the correct terms when I need them.
Honestly, same.